and that's something I could have not done.
Where does this album stand? Is there for each album a certain focus or a learning moment that something you try to improve for yourself? Or what was the focus for this record for you?
We always try to improve, even if we don't make huge steps, but we always try to, include something new. And this time around, I think we probably made the most brutal song we have ever done, and also at the same time the fastest song we have ever done. And then on the other side, we did probably the most epic song and the slowest song we have ever done. So we try to reach all the corners.
It's a song of album of superlatives and that.
No, but I mean, I think also one of the key things before actually starting writing anything with this was that we had a meeting with our producer where we wanted to go with the production, really. Mm-hmm. Not that we were disappointed about the production on the previous album, but we felt that we needed a more aggressive and angry sound on this album, and I think that's kind of what we had in mind when we started writing the album, and I think that kind of also inspired us to write, more aggressively and like aggressive stuff as well. But as Olavi said, even though we bring new elements and new ideas into the mix, it doesn't change the foundation. It's still very much Amon Amarth and everything. It's just that, bring some new elements, new ideas to make it more interesting for ourselves as well as the fans.
Yeah, because there was a discussion, I read somebody said that your music, although it's very heavy, so I don't mean to steer in the wrong direction, it's also very catchy and almost in a poppy kind of sense. Is that somewhere, is there some, because you all write, you bring in certain stuff, is there some things, can you say that each individual member brings in certain other elements, or are you all listening to this, you have similar backgrounds when it comes, I mean, are you listening, for example, to non-heavy metal music a lot?
No, not really.
So it's just in there. So.
Yeah, I'm still as passionate about death metal and heavy metal as I was 20 years ago. So I don't really listen to any other kind of music.
But is there maybe something then, certain ingredients that at least a good song for you has to have that makes it sound like Amon Amarth?
Yeah, of course you have to have a good hook. You have to have a good riff. You have to have good lyrics. There's a lot of good things you have to make a good song. But to answer your first question there is that we are two main writers in the band. In the past I used to be the only writer, but lately Johan is coming in more and more with ideas as well. So on the new album it's like a 50-50 album. And it's he of course have a different style that I have. I usually say I carry the old Amon Amarth style, while he has kind of like a new style. But when we mix it together, I think I don't know. I think it's.
Can you tell maybe? Because you know them obviously pretty well. Can you tell whose riff is whose? Or in a way?
I can pretty much hear who came up with which riff. Yeah. Ollie has a very distinctive way of writing, and I'm quite familiar with that one. But I think that what he says is that like Johan, he has his own style, but somehow it really fits our the general style of the band, anyways. And as Ollie said, when it's all mixed together, it becomes really good because it becomes more diverse, and I think that's great.
And also I think at least the way I'm feeling about this album, the riffs that Johan made, many of those riffs, they remind so much about old Amon Amarth, but in a different way, and that's something I could have not done. So I think I don't know, it's kind of cool. Like for instance, the War of the Gods. He made the opening riff and the break part, and those two riffs are kind of similar to what we have done in the past, but still a little bit different. They go he used some notes that I would never go to, while I did the refrain and I think one bridge as well to the song. So when you put everything together, I think it's a fantastic song.